Hello, today I welcome you all. This is Vini on the Sing, the word wizard ever. And today I'm gonna review this book called The One Thing by Mr. Gary Keller and Mr. Jay Papasan. It's a number one bestseller, and you can see as it is written. It's a very interesting book, as one just to place it in your mind, and it says the surprisingly simple truth behind extraordinary results. Yeah, I believe in simplicity, and with the basic thing, you can achieve extraordinary results. So, yeah, it says about that. And then the book says, you want less, you want more. You can have both less and more if you know your one thing. So, less of chaos and more of fulfillment, happiness, and productivity. You can have both if you know your one thing. Doesn't that sound so logical? And surprisingly, we understand, we know this, but still, the statement makes it so clear. Okay, so so when you just I'll tell you the little story behind this. When I was pregnant in Bangalore, and my sister couriered this book to me, and I felt so special because this book is amazing. And I have this problem, earlier I'll be doing many things and everything, and this book talks about multitasking is a myth. Till then I used to feel you have to multitask. Operating system does multitasking, and you have to be all rounder, and you have to be multitasking. You have to be a good manager. People used to question, they'll question you that you have to be a good manager. You have done an MBA, you must be a good manager. But this book, it just does the postmortem of that myth. Multitasking is a myth by saying that, and that's the truth, that's the fact that even the operating system, if you have studied, if you go and check out how does it work, we don't feel that there's a gap between thread 1, thread 2. The multi-threading, multitasking happens like thread 1, thread 2, thread 3. Thread 1 handles one of your application, thread 2 have under I remember my operating system, how it used to work, lesson during engineering. So I could relate with this book. It talks about, yeah, I was so relieved after reading that statement that multitasking is a myth. Multitasking is just not possible. I was so happy and felt relieved after reading that statement in this book. And I remembered my class when they used to teach that we have thread 1, thread 2, thread 3, thread 4 in an operating system. Thread 1 handles your application. Application 2, booting, then the writing a word. So that fraction of second, when the CPU reads it, that is so less that we feel that the system, our operating system, our laptop is multitasking. No, but there is a time lapse. It is not doing multitasking. It can only read one and execute one instruction, one thread at a time, because the instruction pass T1 and then the bracket and then the function dot execute or run. So that proves, that busts the theory or myth of multitasking. My friends, multitasking just doesn't exist. And I feel so lucky to find this book, because before this book, all my life I used to think that I have to be all-rounder. If I have to be something in life, if I have to be valued and loved by my family, friends, and relatives, and workplace, I have to be multitasking. I have to be a manager. You see, I have to. This causes so much of pressure. But underlying thing is that is just not possible. You can never get a work done by doing too many things at a time. You will not feel the magic, you will not see the best result. So I'm always in depth to this book and these two guys who have written this book, Gary Keller and Jay Papasan, for busting the myth of multitasking, that there's no such thing called multitasking, my dear friends. Please relieve yourself. You've got to do one thing at a time. Yes. So for that, I'm always thankful for all my life. This book, to my sister for gifting me this book, because I know she has seen me confused and she's seen how much pressurized I used to be, that I have to do good in this, I have to be in that. And one thing I lose, I used to feel like, oh, I failed my family, I failed myself. And she has tried to make me understand, but she felt that, this book would do the needful. So yes, indeed, this has worked wonders for me. And then very interesting. You see, it's a white, and then you enter, it's like a little magical thing, and you see this footprints. From the first page when you enter, you see this, uh, the two footprints crossing and then going away far, far, far. You see here, yeah, these are the footprints of a rabbit, and there's a quote which says, see that it actually starts from the first page, this footprints, and then they cross in the second, they cross and then they go very far, far directions from each other. And the quote says that, I know you must have guessed it, if you chase two rabbits, you will not catch either one. Okay, and yeah, it's a Russian proverb that made me smile. I feel something magical, as if some Harry Potter thing. But yeah, it did magic in my life, and it will do for whoever planning to read this. I wrote my name because I just felt, I felt so overwhelmed and relieved and relaxed when I understood the meaning that actually multitasking just can't be done. No one can do multitasking. Nobody, not even Superman. For example, if you've seen Superman hero movies where he has this hair question mark, inverted question mark, and he's saving one part of the world, he cannot be saving other part of the world at the same time. Yes, there's a time lapse. The clarity in his mind that, okay, fine, my girlfriend is falling from that cliff, and I have to save a child here. That calculation of time, yes, he could do both the tasks by dividing it, by having the clarity that, okay, first if I do this, that might not be effective or that might become unnecessary. So he will choose that which one is more important. That's how he does, and we don't feel actually that, oh wow, he did everything. So you don't have to burden yourself. This book will clarify that. And then the chapters are very, very clear, and the chapter you just 3 chapters actually, but that has sub parts to it, and they are wonderful thoughts, you know, which I have underlined as well, almost. And one favorite thought, which as a spoiler, but I would like to read it. The book says, "What's the one thing you can do this week such that by doing it, everything else would be easier or unnecessary?" What is the one thing that you would do this week such that everything else would be either easier or unnecessary? How beautiful is that? If you can apply the same thing and replace the word week with year, this month, this week, this day, this hour, this moment, you will be and we will be achieving every single thing which we have answer to this question. What is it one thing? Suppose, yeah, I shouldn't explain this book because this is beautiful. I would recommend that you should have this book. You should read it, reread it, and you can gift this one. That's my plan. Once I could afford, this will be the gift I'll be giving to people, my family, friends, because it's like a small magic wand, or a small sharpener. Whenever you feel you're blunt and confused, get back to this. So there, equality is a lie. It talks about Domino's effect, and you see that there are many wonderful notes kind of things, like to-do list, where you have could do, could do, could do, could do. And then how many should do's are there? That's what you should do. That should be your successful list. And it's and every chapter ends with takeaways, like big ideas, which is something I enjoy always with the takeaways. The distraction is natural. Multitasking takes a toll. Yes, distraction reminds results. Yeah. Why would we ever tolerate multitasking when we are doing our most important work? Yeah, I love this kind of talk. I love this kind of questions. Why would we ever tolerate multitasking when we are doing our most important work? Does that click something? Why we need to tolerate multitasking when we are doing the most important work? Our most important work. We don't need to tolerate multitasking, or we don't have to do that. When the most important, it's like eating the frog. You might have read that concept where, there's a plate, it's filled with all your tasty, delicious, beautiful, yummy treat in a plate. But there's also one frog. So the condition is that you have to eat all. So the writer or the person who said that thought says that eat the frog first. So that it's like do the most important thing for that period of time, that the other things become unnecessary or easy. Easy. Because if you eat the frog, the other things will become easy to eat. So I'm just saying you a few things. This book is so rich, filled every page. Every page I have something underlined, and then the takeaways are there always explicitly. So yeah, this is a very, 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 and you have this raw drawing to make you understand, and there will be graphs and all too. It's beautiful, very simple, not like a scientific which you don't understand. Yeah, and it presents you with lots of questions, lots of questions. Sometimes it's good instead of reading a lot of theory about something. It's good to encounter questions. This book's actually make me make me feel that questions are so important, the right questions. Yeah, sometimes we just don't need answers, we just need the questions, because our mind processes that, and curious, because mind in the process of trying to answer the question, it starts thinking. If we just get the statement, we might forget it, but the questions, our mind always ponders in the back. So this book actually works on that principle of posing the right questions apart from the theories. That makes your mind, that gets your mind in action already. Yeah, and it's the domino effect, which every single chapter, every single page makes sense. Yeah, so spent, yeah. Time block your time off, time block your one thing, time block your planning time. And resting is working too, yeah. There's a beautiful sentence, there's a beautiful thought that resting is working too. Resting is as equal as working. Yes, it is. Yes. So they say there's a magic in knocking down your most important domino day after day. Most important domino. And then, you have meaningful, very, very meaningful, raw, like somebody did draw just now, as if I have drawn this, the reader has drawn. Accountable people achieve results others only dream of. Yeah. And the big ideas will be there. Yeah, so the person, that the author says that you can apply these questions asked in this book in all the spheres of your life. It's like it says, what is that one thing I'm going to do someday that makes everything easy or unnecessary? Then the person says, what is that one thing that I want someday, if I do this 1 year, that makes other things unnecessary and important? Then likewise it goes to month, week, and then day, and then what is it one thing I do in this particular field? It could be, our health, family. Suppose your relationship is suffering, or relationship with your child is suffering, with your parents is suffering. So what is it one thing I do in this week that sets my relationship strong? Like taking a wife for a dinner, candlelight, or you preparing it, or Same way, there was one very nice example in this book about corporate life. It poses a day-to-day examples wherein there was one example which I remember. It says that there was a new manager. He was appointed, and his team was going down, not performing well. And he was presented with lots of things. The next day he joins office, so he takes the time off. He analyzes everything, the work on the table. He analyzes team member, and he asks his team the same question: what is that one thing, if you all do that, makes the other thing less unnecessary or easy? And the team understands that. Instead, like unlike earlier when they didn't know, when they were asked too many things to finish, they were confused, and unimportant work used to get done, whereas the important were in the pending list. But when the manager asked the very important question, that what is the one thing, if you do this now or this week, uh, our our stakeholders will become happy, and then they focus on that, and then the company gets back to the base, on track, and it starts working fruitfully. So you can understand now the importance of this book, that this is a must have book in every house, wherever people like to read book. And then these two guys end the book by asking you, in the last one, that you want less, you want more. Now you can have both less and more by in the one thing, and then the end with the last thing. What's your one thing? So yeah, I would definitely say go for this book, read it, read it again. You can give this to your, the people whom you care about, and yeah. So this was my first conscious book review, because I'm about to write my second book, and I heard somebody, and a very what do you say, experienced and old writer, saying that in order to write, you have to read a lot. So, and I love reading. I have lots of books. I can't show you my shelf because it's in the other room where my baby's sleeping, and the shelf is, quite high distance. So, unlike other people, they'll have their bookshelf in the back. But yeah, I do have my collection of books of Spanish, English, and so. And by the way, today's my birthday. Happy birthday to me! And it's 3 a.m. in the morning. I started 2 o'clock. I wanted to steal my time for myself because I had a very tough day yesterday at work, and then the whole day goes with managing work, baby, myself, and the housework. I want to do something for myself, and this is what I came up with about books. So this was my one thing this moment, and I feel amazing. Though I was confused, I wanted to sing, I wanted to do dancing for my birthday, but my mood was a little low because of not having a great day yesterday. But then I asked myself, what is it one thing that makes other things easier or necessary? So I feel right now I don't feel like singing or dancing is necessary. I feel this was something amazing. This is a reflection which I just presented, and I can always get back to see this, my own reflection, when I want to. And this is my favorite possession. I feel like this is my property, the most cherished property, jewelry I own. Thanks to my younger sister, for gifting me this, for couriering it to me. You see the importance of this book. So that's how valuable it is. And thank you. I would like to say Gary Keller and Jay Papasan, thank you so much for producing this wonderful product. And I would like to thank all of you. If you like, you can show your support through like, comment, and subscribing my channel, and high five, giving me high five and boosting my morale a little bit, because this is the first time I'm doing this. I have thought a lot, and then my self-critic mind was starting, that you want to do this, you want to do that. Then I presented, I was advocating my own feelings that, okay, fine, I want to do this, I want to do that. But I'm just trying. At least I'm not stopping. I have not given up on me. So for that, I would like to wish myself that, hey, the critic me, I am working, I'm under construction, and I feel I'm very close by to the thing I really want to do in my life. Yes, when the result will be out, I will be announcing it. What is that thing is? Okay, so I will get back to, I'll start my second book, first page. Uh, for now, thank you so much for listening. You can show your support and love and any comments or feedback by, under this video. And see you with the next book, writing or a song maybe. And thank you. Bye bye. Take care. And what's your one thing? Find it out.